Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Moronic History Podcast. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm back again for the
Yeah,
fourth time.
it's Rumbly. This is the fourth episode.
Woo! Let's
Slightly
get hype.
delayed. Ever,
More than slightly.
yeah, more than slightly, like a week
We're off
later.
by like a week.
Yes, but we're doing it anyways.
And I'm not feeling well, so if I cough, that's why. Like
Yeah,
right now.
but yeah, no, the Demon Core. We talked about it in the last one. At the end, we Rumbly decided we're doing the Demon Core.
Exactly.
I wrote a title.
Because it sounds interesting.
I wrote a title slide thing this time as well. What happens when a very spicy rock meets one man with a screwdriver and no fear? The Demon Core incident. Oh, sorry, incidents, plural. There's two of them.
Oh.
Yes. As is normal for this
Oh,
podcast, we have to talk about the lead up. So, World War II.
oh yay. We love that. We
Yeah,
love that
so,
topic.
geez, like 3 of our episodes have involved World War II in some fashion.
Haven't all four of them?
No, because Zamoron's was only World War One.
Oh yeah.
So the U.S. joined the Second World War after Pearl Harbor, and then Germany declared war on the USA. So everybody's in the war,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to talk about weapons, and very specifically, on a very specific type of weapon. Don't English.
English good.
Don't make fun of my English in the comment section. For all you know, I might be English second language.
Mm.
I'm not, but I could be.
It could be.
I could be.
I speak Spanglish.
Or yeah, Spanglish, Danglish, Wranglish.
Danglish, Wranglish,
All right. So the
Tanglish.
Manhattan Project.
Yay. We
Uh,
love that. Big
si-
boom.
yes, yes. Simply
The
put, it
big
was a
boom.
joint effort between the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Dominion of Canada to create weapons harnessing the power of nuclear energy, otherwise known as Big Boom.
I want to add, I didn't know Dominion of Canada was also involved. That's new information to me.
Actually, the Dominion of Canada plays a very important role in this story, so we'll get back to that.
Oh,
So
okay.
a lot of scientists, especially Jewish ones, fled from Axis countries.
Okay, hold on.
Well, no, it's no.
No, hold on. I wasn't.
Like a lot of Jewish scientists fled the Axis
I
powers because
know, but I wasn't ready.
it's what
Oh,
happens.
a
Obviously,
lot of scientists, especially the Jews.
well, they did. There was a lot of them. Okay, don't give me crap.
I wasn't ready. I
Yeah,
wasn't ready for that.
but so the Manhattan Project, as we all know, was very successful at its job, but and was disbanded.
Japan saw the sun twice that year.
Here comes the Suns.
The sun, do 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 do. Wait,
So
wait,
it
wait.
was disbanded in
Is that
1947.
copyright?
Um, not us singing it, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm not monetized anyway. It's fine.
Screw you, YouTube. I mean, wait,
So
no, hang on.
no.
YouTube. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Please
And that's a
forgive
channel
me.
strike, baby. Yahoo.
Yeah. Anyway,
So it got incorporated into the Department of Energy in 1947. That now manages both all nuclear weapons, mostly their warheads and reactors. I don't want to talk about the Manhattan Project too much because it's a super long topic, and you can find a much more knowledgeable people talking about it. So, moving on.
yeah, according to what I'm reading, also, looks like there's a very long YouTube video you can find about this.
You can. I didn't find one specifically.
Yeah,
That's their jobs,
I
not
bet
mine.
there is. I bet there is one.
All right. So
What?
disclaimer. This is kind of out of my realm of what I usually talk about, so it's kind of important that I say this. I know almost nothing about how nuclear fission works, and that everything you will learn from me about both
No.
Fat Man and Little Boy and how different they were is probably wrong. Just keep that in mind. Do your own research. Watch some good YouTube videos. Talk to a nuclear scientist.
I'm stupid in the brain.
That's me. That
Yeah,
it
that's also me, except there are two of them.
There's two signs.
It- yeah, with two birds.
I'm stupid squared.
I'm no cubed.
Okay, I have some things to show you. So the first
Oh, we
bomb,
have videos.
yes. Okay,
Mhm.
10 minutes of technical difficulties later. Little boy
Yep,
was
that's
the bomb
fine.
that was dropped in Hiroshima. It was called a uranium gun design. This is I added links into the videos and it almost broke my presentation. That's how it works. It is just a gun. You're just firing a uranium bullet. So this is how it works. A subcritical mass, so not super spicy, of uranium 235 is shot at another subcritical sample of uranium 235 fast enough that when they both collide, they go supercritical, which makes the big boom, as shown in. No!
That make.
Damn it. Go back.
Oh no,
These videos,
not again,
yeah, I'll just give
not
it.
again.
It just needs a minute to get back to its thing. So this is a very simple design, obviously, given it's very simple, and that was this was the way that they were gonna also do it on Nagasaki, but they used in this bomb they used
But
plutonium instead of uranium.
oh,
Yeah, they want to try some
um,
stuff out. So they used plutonium 240. If you don't know, the number after the element is its uh it has something to do with
mass.
it has something to do with its
How?
electrons.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, whatever, science.
Mm.
Moving on. So they needed a new design, and this is called an implosion bomb. Play the video quick. Just to show you a visual of how it worked. So basically, what happened is a ring of explosives are placed with a lens to focus the with a lens to focus the explosives towards the center of the bomb, which is a plutonium core. This will be important later. It would smush the plutonium so much at like an implosion that it would go supercritical and explode. And
Hmm.
once, yeah. So the main thing that I need everybody to understand is that you need a very big chunk of super radioactive material to do anything with nuclear weapons.
So what you're saying is one wrong move, and you're screwed.
Yes, well, no, okay, here's the thing. Screwing around with radioactive material is never good. But if you're going to screw around with any radioactive material, subcritical radioactive material is the stuff I would do. Because it's not as radioactive. Do not eat uranium, please, for the love of Christ.
Well, unless you try to eat
No,
right around 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes.
no, that's potassium. That's just potassium.
No,
No, what? Huh?
'cause you'll die of radiation poisoning.
Yeah,
Because
but
yes, the radiation would kill you.
yeah, that's potassium, and that's not uranium.
Ex- exactly.
I think there's okay. I could be wrong on this, but I believe there's
It's still radioactive. I mean,
yeah, I believe there's radioactive material in fire alarms.
oh,
I could be wrong on that, but I
hmm,
believe there is.
there might
Please do not use any of this information that you learned from this podcast to do anything.
never, please.
Okay, moving
We are,
on.
there's a reason it's called moronic history.
Yes. So on the 6th
There's
and the
a
9th of
reason.
August, 1945, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki stopped existing basically.
They saw the sun came in towards them, is what happened.
Yeah,
The sun landed on those two cities.
they up till this up to the point of writing the script, they are the only two cities to ever be the targets of a nuclear attack and hopefully the only ones.
Um, so what you're saying is that the U.S. decided to park some bombs just right on those two cities,
Yeah,
just
practically.
for a hot second,
Yeah, depending on how the
just for a
war
hot second.
what? Yeah, yeah, depending on how the war in Ukraine goes, they might not be the only cities.
Hmm.
The bombs,
Yeah, or the spy balloon that China proclaims is not a spy balloon.
yes, you can believe us. There is nothing saying that we are lying. He says, crossing fingers behind back. So
Breaks into cold sweat.
yeah. So as you can probably guess, the cities were absolutely rocked by this. After the first bomb dropped, the Japanese government didn't actually believe that one bomb could have destroyed a whole city, but then obviously the second one exploded. Um,
Mm.
Actually, speaking of that, there's this guy you might have heard of if you've kind of been learning about the nuclear weapons before. Tsutomu Yamagachi. He was on a business trip to Hiroshima when the city was bombed. He survived that bomb and returned home to his home city of Nagasaki, where he would survive the second bomb.
What?
Yeah, he got nuked twice. He lived till 2010 and died at the age of 93.
Hold on.
Yeah, he lived to 2010.
Wait
Died.
a minute. Hold hold on. You're telling me this man business trip to the first city,
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima,
Yep.
and bombed. He survived. He was then like 3 days later, like, I'm gonna go back now.
No, 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 no. He
Goes
he went
back.
home. He lived in Nagasaki.
Oh,
He
yeah,
lived.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He went home,
Hmm.
got bombed again, still survived, questioning his life at this point, thinking, I
God's
might need to buy a lottery ticket.
yeah, God's out for me.
And then lives till 2010.
He died of stomach cancer, by the way.
That makes sense, but still.
Yeah. It's kind of
Huh?
yeah. No,
Hold on,
it's
what's the math on that?
the math of getting nuked twice
No.
or surviving.
He lived another 65 years after getting bombed twice.
It depends on where he was at in the cities, but honestly, it not good. The chances for him were not good. Uh, yeah.
Where would he where would he have to been to survive? That's my question.
Honestly, outskirts of the city, and just far enough away from the bomb where it didn't instantly evaporate him or give him stage 8 stomach cancer.
Stage 50.
Yeah, they had to invent some. Okay. So with that and the Soviets declaring war on the Japanese Empire, Japan surrendered and the Second World War came to an end. The Just to get serious for a second, the casualties of the bombs were absolutely gigantic. 129,000 to 226,000 people lost their lives, and one British dude, seven Dutch dudes, and 12 Americans also died.
Huh.
They were POWs in the cities.
Oh.
Yeah,
So they were like, yeah, some of our men are in those cities. And
I'm going to assume that they didn't.
presses nuclear launch button.
I'm going to assume that they didn't know they were in the cities, or
I imagine they did though, and they were just like, screw it,
yeah, maybe.
launch.
So the main
Then they
thing,
looked up and where they were like, oh, you gotta be kidding.
hey, that's one of my planes. He's gonna rescue me. What is he dropping? And then he
Here
said,
comes the sun,
yeah.
dude.
So the main thing I want to force home is that you the they used the bombs to end the war, but they had threatened and said that there would be more on the way. So they obviously prepared for a third bomb.
Huh.
So
I don't know what they could prepare enough in that short amount of time, but it's whatever.
yeah, so that brings us to so with the basic understanding of how nuclear bombs work, we can start talking about the actual topic of the podcast, like 20 minutes in.
Oh boy.
Dubbed the
10 of
Demon,
which were technical difficulty.
yes, later dubbed the Demon Core. This nuclear core was 6.2 kilos, or for the freedom lovers in the chat, 14 pounds.
Oh,
It was 3
hold
point.
on. What's happening?
I'm sorry. You having issues on your end?
My stuff is crashing.
All right. We're back. Technical difficulties are plaguing us today.
Round two of technical difficulties over.
So, 3.5 inches in diameter, it was a very safe and not at all dangerous lump of plutonium. and obviously it was subcritical, so it was actually pretty safe.
Pretty safe
The
for the
core,
time.
yeah, the core itself was just obviously plutonium that was subcritical, and the experiments that were going on the left side, this was a recreation, obviously, was you would use tungsten carbide blocks for it. This core was made by the aforementioned Manhattan Project for a potential third nuclear bomb to drop on Japan. So they were
Hmm.
ready. They had one in the works. But the emperor surrendered, and they never had to use the third core for the bomb. So basically, a bunch of scientists were like, "We could do tests on it. It'll be fine."
Nothing will go wrong, surely.
So now let me ask you, what do you think a scientist would want to experiment on a nuclear core for? What do you think they would want to learn?
I have no idea.
Do you want to know what they want? They wanted to learn how close you could get it before it goes supercritical. They wanted to learn how close you could get it to before it explodes.
Why?
I don't know. I assume
Wh-
I don't know.
Okay, scientists, smart people, right? But sometimes they're the stupidest people on the face of the planet.
Yeah, I know. So let me introduce you to a physicist called Harry Daghlian. This man was born in 1921, and the main thing that we need to know about him is that he has a bachelor's in science and he worked on the Manhattan Project.
Hmm.
After working on the bombs that would be dropped on Japan, he went into the neutron reflection, that was the actual proper name for it, experiments that were doing on this core. At this point it was called Rufus. That was the name of
r-
this core.
Hmm. Weird name, but okay.
Oh, also, the one thing I wanted to mention here is that these experiments took place 1 week after the surrender of Japan. So they took
Huh.
no time off. It was immediately. They were in there.
They were just like, they surrendered. Let's do this.
So first, let me tell you, he didn't follow safety protocols at all, Mr. Daglin.
Oh God.
Nothing good ever comes after that sentence. He went in alone
Nothing.
as the only scientist,
Al-
and
Hold on.
the only other
Hold
person in the
on.
room was the security guard who was required to be there.
I I can't. I can't with human beings anymore.
I
I
know.
can't with human beings anymore. Okay, okay. So you're telling me they wanted to test to see how close they could get it before it went off, right?
Yes.
And this man comes along, is just like, by myself, 1 week after, let's do this.
Yes.
He's stupid. He's dumb. He's going to die, and I can see him dying in the next 5 minutes.
So the experiment that he was doing was he would put 4.4 kilogram, 9.7 pound tungsten carbide blocks around the core so that it would start reflecting the neutrons that the plutonium gives off back at itself. This would then cause the core to slowly come up to supercritical condition.
Huh.
So
Okay.
this experiment was going on, and he was stacking these bricks. As he was about to place a brick, he saw that the computer that was kind of watching it said that if he put that thing, it would go supercritical. And then he put the block down, and nothing happened. Podcast over. Is
That's not
sometimes
what happened.
sometimes I wish I could say that happened, but no. Like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon, he dropped the brick onto the core and made it go supercritical.
Are you? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I said he was gonna die.
Yep. So Daglin was very quick. He tried to knock over the tower, but he had to remove the brick that he had dropped. But at this point, he already knew he was screwed. Let
Let
me
me guess,
let,
he died.
let me explain to you in the it was like a 1 second thing where it was supercritical, like 1 second. So
Okay.
that's how quick we're talking. So we need to talk about what radiation is and what it can do to the human body and how fast it needs to go to turn into soup. There are three different types
The
of
radiation or the human?
the human.
Oh,
So there are 3 or 4 different types of radiation. Four that we're going to talk about. Alpha
okay.
radiation is very safe and will not do anything to you as long as you do not ingest anything emitting it. It can't pass your skin, you're fine.
Okay.
It can't even penetrate paper. Beta
as
particles.
shown by your beautiful picture.
Yes, I stole this off a page somewhere. I don't remember where. Beta particles can penetrate more, but is not as damaging as alpha radiation, and still, I don't think you'll be fine. Gamma radiations are the most harmful of the basic three, and can pass through lead if it's not thick enough, and can start unraveling your DNA, like breaking it apart. Probably not good for your health.
Probably, yeah.
Neutron radiation is another one
Yeah.
that would. So the two types of radiation that a nuclear core gives off is gamma and neutron. So the worst types.
Oh, mm.
So we need to talk about. He was hit with neutron radiation, Daglin, and it
Wait.
stops your cells from reproducing. It starts melting your organs if it hits you for long enough.
Okay, real fast.
What's up?
I have a, I have a side tangent I want to talk about.
Oh boy, what's up?
So, neutron radiation, right?
Yep.
Is that the type of radiation that comes off of a neutron star?
Um, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Well, I want to look at it. I want to look it up. Hold
Stars
on.
give off most radiation types. Neutron radiation is not like that. Neutron radiation is the stuff that uh, radioactive material gives off as it starts shedding both
Neutron
protons and neutrons
stars.
to irradiate itself into a more stable form, like lead. But I don't know.
Okay. Okay, a neutron star is a compact. Okay, it's just telling me what a neutron star is.
We're mid podcast research. Go.
Go. Okay. So, huh. So as material within the pulsar, or another word for a neutron star, accelerates within the. Oh God. Okay, here we go. I'm probably gonna butcher this word. Magnetosphere of a
Magnetosphere.
pulsar, aka neutron star. The neutron star produces gamma ray emission.
Yeah.
The transfer of the energy in these gamma ray pulsars slows the spin of the star. Oh, I did not know that.
Hmm. Interesting.
So if they have those big beams, it doesn't spin as quick, and they
Science is
spin pretty quickly.
science is scary.
But real quick, when a neutron, you want to know how fast a neutron star spins?
Sure.
A neutron star, when compressed after the violent supernova of a giant star, right?
Uh-huh.
It spins at 20 times per second.
Like it'll spin in a full circle 20 times a second.
So you know how it takes 1 day for our Earth to spin?
Yes.
Imagine that, but 20 times quicker.
Oh my. Oh boy. Ooh.
Yeah, that's how fast that thing is moving. Or it's hang on, it might be milliseconds. Hold on.
Oh my. Wait a minute. That's a big change. That's a ooh, boy.
How fast do neutron stars spin? I'm sorry. I got it way mixed up. It spins 43,000 times every minute. Every minute.
I science is scary, man.
Oh my
All right.
God.
I'm
Hold
about
on.
to depress you.
Wait.
Oh boy.
No, hold on. Stop. Hang on. I gotta dig deeper. Hold on.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
gonna I'm
that's
gonna
716 times every second. That is mind-boggling. Oh my God.
I am committed never to go to space. I'm never going to space. Nope. Staying on Earth.
I mean, never. No, never
So
again.
back to the pod.
Okay,
Back to the
side
pod.
tangent over.
Yeah, back to the podcast. So the
Oh my
unit of
God.
measurement that you use to measure this is rads. But if
Yep.
you're not a nuclear scientist, you don't know what a rad is. If you do, you did whatever. You're not watching this.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Please explain to me.
So a rad is a measurement of how much ionizing radiation you absorb spread across your entire body. So like equaled out across your body.
Yeah.
One rad equals 0.01 grays, which means that 100 rads is one gray. This is just simple conversions for later.
Okay. Yep.
So how much radiation can the human body absorb, and how much damage will it do to the body? The chart on this on the right here is in millisieverts, but I've already converted into grays because I'm nice like that. A dentist X-ray
Thank you.
is 1 to the power of -5, 1 times 10 to the power of -5, so nothing at all. You're fine. You receive
Yeah,
0.002 grays per year just being on Earth. And the people at Chernobyl
that's
got
pretty
6
normal.
grays. The people at Chernobyl got
Oh,
6 grays. At that point, it's pretty much fatal, but at 10,000 millisieverts, it's equal to 10 grays, and you will be dead within a week or more. No question.
ow. Jesus.
With all that said, how much did Daglin and the security guard get?
Oh, no.
The security guard was far enough from the experiment and only received 0.08 grays of radiation, which is about the equivalent of radiation workers' maximum dosage for 5 years. So, like, how much radiation a worker can receive in 5 years for it to be safe. So he's
Yeah.
fine. He's fine.
Okay. He was fine.
He survived and lived 33 years later and died from cancer, which may have been caused by this incident.
Most definitely, but keep going.
Now, Daglin did not get off so easy because he was right next to the thing when
Well,
it happened.
okay. Yeah, yeah, didn't get off so easy. It was a bit stretching it, don't you think?
Yeah, so what happened is that he got 2 grays of radiation, which is the equivalent of a single dose that would kill half of people exposed to it within a month. And sadly, that was his fate. He died 25 days later after exposure from acute radiation poisoning with a focus on his blood cells. That is his hand on the left there, where he touched the carbide with the carbide brick. It's it's honestly scary.
Oh yeah, this carbide brick is, right next to a radioactive material. Let me just touch it real
Well,
quick.
he couldn't leave the brick on, otherwise it would have stayed supercritical.
It would have, but
So
also,
he had to do it, but he there should have been other
I
people
know.
there. There should have been other people there. So
It
he
should
died.
have, regardless, there should have been other people there.
So you're probably asking yourself, was he buried in a lead coffin? That's your cue to ask the question.
Saffron. Was he buried in a lead coffin?
I don't know. Um,
Oh,
here's the thing.
well, that was
Here's
a
the
sad
thing. When you
answer.
get irradiated, as if you don't have the material inside of your body, you usually aren't yourself radioactive. So most likely he was not buried in a lead-lined coffin. But it is sometimes funny to think about that.
Yeah.
Due to
Wait, well,
his
how did you get lead coffin?
Yeah. So due to his death, more safety measures were put in place when criticality experiments were being conducted. Mainly, 2 people are needed for the experiments, and multiple systems need to be tracking the amount of radiation that the thing would give off. So that stopped all future incidents, and everybody was fine from here on out.
And podcast over.
Yeah, no. There's a
Oh,
reason it's
God.
called the Demon Core.
Uh-huh.
Let me introduce you to Louis Slotin, born 1910 in
I,
Winnipeg, Canada.
um, okay. Look at his face.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can say this or not.
Oh boy. Is it because
I
his
think you know where I'm
Is it
going
because
with
his
this.
nostrils are as big as shotgun shells?
No, it's also the glasses, the way
Oh.
his hair looks, his facial structure entirely. I'm just saying, I think you know what I'm trying to say.
I'm just gonna move on, not implicate
Just
myself.
move on.
Yep.
Move on.
So he was from the Dominion of
Move on.
Canada, so that's where that comes in from earlier.
Oh, okay.
He got a PhD at King's London College, and during the Second World War, he was recruited into the Manhattan Project.
Of course.
Yep. After the bombs had been dropped, he was transferred to the Supercriticality Experiments Division, and 9 months after the then named plutonium core Rufus killed Daglin, Slotin started doing similar experiments on the thing.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So let me kind of quickly explain the type of experiment he did. You would take 2 half-semispheres of beryllium-coated plutonium that would do similar things to the tungsten carbide brick from Daglin's experiment. I have a thing here. Here you can see what he did. So the experiment here he would take those half spheres that were beryllium half spheres and slowly bring them down over the plutonium core so it would start reflecting back in on itself without letting it close.
Oh,
Because if it closes,
okay.
it will go critical no matter what.
That's a very safe way to do it.
Yep. So there were actually safety measures in place to make sure it would never close. They had safety shims in there that would always be there. You can see one in that left picture on the right side of the core. That shim would.
Screwdriver used instead of shins to prevent in closing.
Oh no. Yeah. So
So a screwdriver?
well, no. On the right, on the left hand picture, on the right hand side of the picture, you can see one of the
Yeah,
shims.
okay. It just said screwdriver, and I was
Yeah.
like,
So
they used a screwdriver? And they
so
were like, we're safe, all right.
the Slotin did dozens of tests on this thing with nothing ever going wrong. But he wanted to push it further, so he removed the shims.
Oh my god, of course, he
The
wanted to push
way
it further. Every scientist wants to just go further beyond.
to the moon, baby, to the moon.
This
Um,
isn't gonna end well.
so the way he did this experiment is that he would have the screwdriver where the flathead would keep the things separated at the largest point. He would then slowly turn the screwdriver so it would slowly lower the half spheres to each other.
Uh-huh.
So, he could get it as close to supercriticality without it going supercritical. And to set the scene, there are 8 people in the room at this point, including Slotin himself.
All right. Good. There
During
were 8 other people with him instead of
7 other people with
just
him.
okay. 7 other people with him instead of just him
Yep.
and a highly radioactive material
Yes. So,
that could go supercritical,
so during this
and then him
experiment,
dying.
during this particular experiment, Slotin's screwdriver slipped out of his hand and the shell fully closed. Um,
Yep. Oh.
the core went supercritical immediately, and this was a quote from one of the people in the room. The blue flash was clearly visible in the room, although it was well illuminated from the windows and all over the headlights. Basically, like the blue light was very visible. That's on the left there. It's called. It has a really weird name, but don't look into the pretty blue light. It is radioactive.
Oh.
The total duration of the flash could not have been more than a few tenths of a second, and was very quickly. And Slotin was very quickly in flipping the tamper piece off the top half of the thing.
Uh-huh.
So from that quote, we can see that was only supercritical for maybe half of a second. But afterwards,
Okay.
Slotin purportedly said this. Well, that does it. After he stood up, Slotin knew that the
Wow.
dose he had received would probably kill him, so he spent the rest of his very limited lifespan figuring out how much radiation the people in the room got.
Okay. That's good.
So let's talk about where each person is. So that right there is a picture of kind of where everybody was standing. I put the red text on there, kind of figuring out where everybody was. That is not an official thing, and it could be wrong. That's just an educated guess.
Okay.
So let's talk about how much radiation everybody in the room got. So
Oh
props to
boy.
first of all, props to Slotin on this one. He absorbed most of the radiation for this and protected most of the people in the room. So let's talk about Samuel Klein and why.
Standing
Oh yeah,
ovation.
yes. Let me no.
Standing ovation.
Yes, standing ovation for Slotin, who almost killed everybody in the room. Okay, I need to talk about
No,
Samuel,
no, by almost killing everybody, but then
and then
putting
not.
himself in
Yes,
more harm's way.
no, that was actually a very heroic move. It saved the
Yes.
lives of the man right behind him. So let me talk about Samuel Klein for a minute here. He wasted like 30 minutes of my life. I wanted to do this picture here, and it was going to be easy. See how much radiation everybody got. Slowly move my way back, obviously. But yeah, Klein didn't have his radiation measured at all, so I had to guess.
Oh boy.
I hated him. I hate him. I hate him. He's the worst. He's
Hmm.
dead. I can talk about him like this. So
He's dead. I can talk about him.
so we can obviously figure out where everybody is. Floatin was easy. He's right there. Graves was standing right behind him, so that was also easy. And It was just a pain. It was a pain. But let's talk about it. From a source I found, it says that security guard was 10 to 12 feet away from the experiment with his back turned. So I can't
Okay.
figure out where he was totally at, but I just did my best guess. Theodore Perlman and Raymer Schreiber, the two in the near the door, um,
Yeah.
they each got like around the same dose, 9 and 7 rads, respectively. This is a very small amount of
That,
radiation. It's the max amount a worker can get in 5 years, so they were fine. Driver lived 52
okay.
more years and died of natural causes, and Perlman died 42 years after, and nothing about his death was given. So I assume he just died of natural causes.
Probably.
Kai Sleeky, the guy right behind Slotin on his right, died 19 years later from acute myelotopic leukemia, which might have been caused by the incident because he did get 12 rad, which is the
Ooh.
same one as the last one in intensity, but it could have just been random. Who knows?
Who knows?
The security guard, Patrick Cleary, got 30.33 grays, which is about what a resident outside Chernobyl would have gotten. He died 4 years later in the Korean War, so no idea if that would have
Yeah.
caused anything bad. Dwight Young, the photographer in the room, got 51 rad, which is a little more than what the people at Fukushima got. That was the
Oh wow.
that was the plant that exploded in Japan.
Oh. Oh, okay.
He died of a
I had no
plastic
idea.
Yeah, he died of a plastic anemia bacterial endocarditis, which may have been caused by the thing, but it was 29 years after, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Alan Graves, the person behind him, a physicist, got 166 rad, which is a single dose that could give you sickness and nausea, but not death. He died 19 years after from a heart attack, which may have been caused by this, but also it apparently heart attacks also ran in his family, so nobody else in the room, everybody else in the room was fine. They all lived at least.
Wow. At
So
least a couple more years.
finally, Lewis A. Slotin. Um, the main man, he took most of the radiation and got a total of 1,000 rad or 10 grays.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he got enough grays and gamma to kill you within a week or two, and that is how he met his fate. He died 9 days later from acute radiation syndrome, with a main focus on gastrointestinal focus, meaning that his organs started unraveling.
Aye.
Yeah.
Ow. Ooh, I don't want to think about that. Jesus Lord.
Here's the worst part about radiation burns.
Unraveling?
Yes, unraveling.
What do you mean by unraveling?
Your DNA starts to unravel.
Mm.
I want to tell you
Mm-hmm.
the worst
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
radiation
yeah. Of
burns.
course he died. Uh-huh.
So, you want to know the worst part about it?
What?
Eventually, with enough radiation sickness, you can't be put under to stop the pain because the system that takes the pain receptors will stop getting that, and you'll just feel pain forever until you die eventually.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be torture.
Yeah. No, just put a gun in my mouth.
I
Honestly.
yeah, yeah, you know what? That's the first time I've ever agreed with that statement. Oh
I
my God.
I couldn't find pictures of Slotin. I imagine if I did find them, I wouldn't have put them on here because that would have been.
They would probably been really, really bad.
Yeah, I kind of am glad. The person on the right had radiation burns, but I imagine Slotin had much worse.
Oh,
One of the men that attended the
especially
Slotin,
if he was like facing it, right?
yes, he was facing it.
Then yeah, like I'm pretty sure we couldn't even show it.
One of the attending people said that it was like a 3D sunburn, and after all of this, most of the experiments done on supercriticality were done by robots, so saving the lives of probably many more people.
Yeah. I think after that incident, everyone was just like, yeah, no.
So I was looking at this.
And then no one learned their lesson at Chernobyl.
Nobody learned
So
their lesson because I found an entire Wikipedia list of criticality incidents. So this is not a
yeah,
yeah no
no
it's
one learned their lesson after this, but you know,
So we've talked. So after that experience, it was renamed the Demon Corps. I just want to add that in there. So we've
Oh,
talked about,
that's where it's got its name.
yeah, that's where it's got a name. We talked about the Demon Corps and who it hurt, who it killed, but what happened to it after this thing? Well, the government wanted to use the Corps for Operation Crossroads, which were some nuclear tests that was done outside of Bikini Atoll and on ships. That's what those black things are in the water.
Yeah.
Those are naval ships. That's how. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see them now.
yeah. So they had to wait to use the core because obviously it was radioactive, and they had to do some tests to see if it was usable. It was actually neutron poisonous, in a which left it it couldn't be used in the tests. Um,
Ah, I see.
and actually the sites after the bombs, the Abel and Baker, the site was
Uh
too
huh.
radioactive to actually do another test at. So the demon core met its end by getting melted down and turned to another core, and probably for another bomb, which was probably exploded later. I actually don't know. It
Huh.
that's where the story ends for it.
That's where the story ends.
Yeah, it was.
No, hold on. So so we're gonna go off topic a little bit, but not really.
Go ahead.
We're not really. But so, biggest nuclear, was it the biggest nuclear bomb?
Tsar Bomba.
Yes. Yes. Zarbamba. I couldn't remember if it was the biggest nuclear or
It is
because
the
I know after nuclear bombs they switched to hydro.
hydrogen bombs. It was a hydrogen
Yeah,
bomb.
hydrogen.
The Tsar Bomba was a
Was
hydrogen bomb.
was it a hydrogen? Okay, then the largest hydrogen bomb.
Yeah,
Can't say nuclear.
It's the biggest bomb ever.
Still the biggest bomb ever, but like I want to specify.
Yeah,
Just because we're talking about nuclear bombs, and I don't want to get anyone confused about the Tsar bomb being a nuclear bomb, which technically it's a thermonuclear bomb, but we're not getting into that.
there's a lot of subcategories.
Yeah, there's a lot of different categories you can go into. So, real quick, New York, right?
I'm aware of New York.
Right? New York, the city, right?
Yeah,
If the Tsar bomba was dropped on New York, how big do you think? How far away would you think that bomb would affect?
I'm gonna guess most of the city is either incinerated or at least radiated.
So, so I found a picture. So the orange circle around it,
Here, here,
it
here,
is
here.
like
You'll send it to me. You'll send it to me later, and I'll edit it in here. You guys
okay.
can see.
Okay, yep. I'll send it to him later. You guys will. It's whatever. So the orange circle right around it is the far. So like just the edge of the orange circle is about as far as you can be and still die, possibly,
Like
right? If you're
instantly
outside, if you're
or
not
irradiated.
instantly, not irradiated, you won't die instantly, obviously, if you're
Okay.
that far away.
Okay.
But if you're outside the circle, you are perfectly fine, perfectly safe. This this bomb, Sevron. So Long Island, right?
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
So from the middle of New York, it would stretch out halfway out of Long Island, right? Almost touching almost touching Vermont up north, going about a quarter of the way in to New
Vermont.
York, the state. Yeah, Vermont. All the way into about a quarter way into New York, the state, and about south halfway down into New Jersey. That is how big it would be.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad there was only ever one of them.
Yeah, and they only tested it one time.
I wonder what the.
I have another picture of it which I won't show because it's pretty visual. You can pretty visually see it. If it was dropped on London, all of the UK would have been screwed.
Oh, that's fun. I wonder. I wonder
And
what.
Ireland and almost all of France and all of Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, almost all of Germany, pretty much all of Denmark,
I wonder what kind of.
all of Switzerland.
I wonder what kind of core that was used.
I
It was
have
a
no
it was a
idea, but
hydrogen bomb, so
it was
it's
a
different
hydrogen
science.
bomb.
Okay,
It
okay.
is different science. It deals with a gas, not a metal.
So back on
But
topic.
anyway, side tangent.
All right,
Over.
I have my side tangent. During
Oh
the
yeah.
research for this thing, I had to search up the name Demon Core a lot, and randomly I would just get pictures of anime girls opening the Demon Core. Whoever made these, I swear to God, who drew cute anime girls next to a live plutonium core, I want a psych ward dropped on their house. I want a gun placed in their mouth. I'm not asking. I'm
Why?
demanding.
I'm not asking.
I don't know.
Now,
I don't know who did this. I don't care why you did it. I will find you. I will. Okay. Whew. I'm not
why?
kidding. I am not kidding.
Why?
There are pages upon pages. These are just two of them that I found that it was so many.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why it pisses me off so much.
What? What? No. Okay. I'm done. I
All
just
right.
saw a furry one. I'm done.
Oh no.
I'm done. I'm
No.
done. Nothing against furries, but
But it's the demon core. Why? Why? What is the obsession?
we just went over this. We just went over this. You saw how bad it was.
What was I don't these the two in the bottom
Done.
that are seeing that blue light, they both be dead. They're dead. Their eyes are melted.
They're dead. They are dead right now. They would have died a second ago, and
Okay.
now a second ago,
Yeah.
and now a second ago.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Turning it over.
Intro.
I'm
Go.
not editing in the intro. I'm leaving that in.
God damn it.
Oh, one moment, please. Yep. Moving on.
Do 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 bam. Conspiracy theory. Let's
Yeah. Okay.
hop into it.
I'm on the
This
slide.
one is gonna be a doozy
Oh no, no. I don't actually know.
because because it's about Malaysia Airlines Flight 37.
Uh, your dad about to disappear like Malaysian Airlines
Uh,
Flight 370.
yeah. All right. So ready? Let's
Yep. Go
hop
ahead.
into it.
I'm ready to learn.
So the disappearance of Malaysia Flight Airline 370 in Southeast Asia on March 4th, 2014 was prompted has prompted many theories. And there are actually two theories in this one,
Oh, there's two
believe it
conspiracy
or
theories.
not.
That's fun.
There's two in one. So one theory suggests that this plane was hidden away and reintroduced as Flight MH17. That comes in later. Later
Why?
the same year, and you'll see, later the same year, in order to be shot down over you. Wait, hold on. Am I reading that right? Later the same year, yeah, later in the same year to be shot down over Ukraine for political purposes. American conspiracy theorist James H. Fetzer, I think that's how you say his last name,
Honestly,
has placed
he's a
respons.
conspiracy theorist, so he probably doesn't deserve having
It
his last
doesn't matter.
name said correctly.
No, not at all. Has placed responsibility for the disappearance with the then Israel Prime Minister Benjamin, however the heck you say his last name.
Oh, so he's a right wing conspiracy theorist who believes the Jews control the world.
No, but
No,
maybe.
maybe. Okay.
Historian Norman Davies, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. I'm not too sure.
Last names aren't important. Moving on.
No, not important. Has prompted the conspiracy theory that that hackers remotely took over a Boeing Honeywell uninterruptedly air pilot. So autopilot. So the autopilot in Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370,
Yeah.
right? Supposedly installed on board, remotely piloting the aircraft to Antarctica.
For what purpose?
I I don't know.
I swear to God, with conspiracy theorists, it's like they have this complex theory about what happened. What is the purpose behind it? No,
I
they
don't know.
like the people on board. Like were they government agents? What were it? Go. I mean, go wild, but make it plausible, please.
I don't know, man. I read this and I was like, this sounds crazy enough,
Like
but we're gonna do it.
yeah, I've read about Flight 370. Nobody knows because
Yeah,
it's just
because it was just poof,
yeah, it just
bye bye.
poofed out of existence. They found some parts of from it, so they know it crashed, but nobody knows why it changed course. But it doesn't
Anyway,
yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me why people think
why Antarctica? That's my question.
there's n-
Why specifically Antarctica?
you wouldn't have made it to Antarctica with how much gas it had.
No, never. How? Where was it going anyway? It wasn't going that far, right?
It was I believe it was going to was it going to Ho Chi Minh City or was it going to I don't
That's not far away. I believe that's not that far away
no, it was not
for a plane
it was
anyway.
not fueled for like a huge like
No, it was fueled for that distance, however long that is.
I
I don't know.
believe you see that last radar point. I don't believe it made it much farther past that point and before it ran out of gas.
Yeah, it. I don't know, man.
It. I mean,
But anyway,
yeah, no. It just conspiracy theorists like you can. There are
they're crazy.
well,
They
yeah.
are crazy.
It comes with the territory, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the second one?
Yes. Yeah.
Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17, which we talked about in the last one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We
So
did.
Malaysia Airlines
That's the one that
Flight
got shot down over
17
Ukraine, right?
was shot
Oh
down
wait,
over Ukraine in July 2014. So,
I
like
heard about
a
that.
couple months after this plane got shot down. I
Was
mean,
that
this plane crashed or whatever.
was that the one with? Am I thinking of a different one?
I don't know. What do you want? What did you want to say about it?
Give me a second. Malaysian Air 17. Give me a second. Is this the one? Am I thinking of the right one? No, I'm the totally different one. But yeah, so okay, keep going.
Yes, this event was what has spawned numerous alternative theories. These variously include allegations that it is secretly Flight MH370, that the plane was actually shot down by the Ukrainian Air Force to frame Russia. That
Okay.
was part of a conspiracy theory to conceal the, in quotation marks, truth about HIV. What?
Okay, so as far as I know,
Or that the Illuminati or Israeli was responsible.
okay, so I quickly Googled. So the official thing for the MA-17 was that it was shot down by Russian-backed separatists in the Donbass region. I totally believe that. That's fine.
Yep.
Do you want to know how long it was between the disappearance of MA-370 and MA-17? 3 years.
Uh, 3 years.
Why? How is a jumbo jet plane just gone for 3 years and then randomly appears with nobody asking any questions?
I don't know, man. Like we said, conspiracy theories are crazy. They're all crazy.
Yeah, no. Except for the last one we did on the TV show Breaking Bad and Walking
No,
Dead.
that
That
one
one makes
was
sense.
reasonable.
That one makes
That
sense.
one made sense. I kind of believe it.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
the official report on MA-370 is that um it the I think nobody knows why it was taken over, but everybody's presumed dead. It crashed because it ran out of gas. Nobody knows why it turned to leave. Maybe it could have been a malfunction in the autopilot. It could have been a pilot thing. Nobody really knows. Nobody can say. We'll probably never know.
Unless you're a crazy conspiracy theory that actually believes in your theory.
Yep. And if you are, you're probably not watching this podcast.
No, because you would have already clicked off.
Yeah, you would have given up because it made too much sense.
Yeah.
Well, that was
So that was
Malaysian Air
yeah,
370. Yes.
yeah. I cannot believe people actually believe that. I don't at
Yeah.
all. But
Oh,
like we said, we don't condone any of these conspiracy
yes.
theories. You
Yeah.
don't have to believe them. Believe them if you want. We don't care.
Disclaimer: we assume that we do not believe in any of the conspiracy theories uh, featured in random conspiracies unless we state otherwise. There,
There.
get the
And
disclaimer.
I don't believe in this one. This one is
Nope.
far fetched.
Totally dumb,
Very
not
far
possible.
fetched. It's stretching it.
Especially the second, especially I mean both of them are really dumb, but the second one's even more like how somehow
It's even more done. How is it concealing the truth of about HIV?
no. The
I'm
funnier
sorry, but that is a whole different thing
the funnier
that
part
you
for
are
me
talking.
is that somehow they topped going to Antarctica. Somehow they made it more implausible than Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, I guess more implausible would have been the Arctic Circle.
We went to the moon.
Yeah, we went. We became a spacecraft and went up.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Well,
Is it,
that's it for me.
yeah, that was a podcast.
Yeah. Podcast
Uh uh
outro.
thank you. I don't have an outro. Uh
Well, you got one now.
yeah, thank you guys for watching the fourth episode. I know it was a bit late, but yeah.
A bit. One week, just a
Yep.
little.
1 week. The fifth episode is being written. I'm not going to tell you what is written on because I like to have a little bit of suspense.
All
We'll
right.
see you in the next episode. Bye.
See ya.